world is a sound. There is noise in your brain, in your mind. Noise in resistance. When you don't resist, you go beyond the noise. So couple of minutes, we sit quiet in the midst of this noise. So Shabda Brahmadi Vartade. Shabda Brahma is the experienced world. The idea is that you can be silent in the midst of activities, in the midst of all these noises. So listen to those sounds without resistance, with acceptance. The noise affects the mind, not the Atman. And we are now moving beyond the mind. So what disturbs you itself becomes an object of meditation or awareness. Contain it within your awareness and dissolve it into your awareness. What Bhagavad Gita says, Guna Guneshu Vartande. The mind interacting with the Vishayas or objects. And when you see that, observe it. Na kampade. Such a wise person, na kampade, is not disturbed or uprooted. Mahad akharadavad, like the deep ocean, or a deep-rooted tree. So observe that non-reacting silence. Open your eyes. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranadosmyaham Jandunam Narajanmadurlabhamatah Pumstum Tato Viprata Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Bharata Vidyatvamasmat Param Atmanatma Vivejanam Sunubhavo Brahmatmana Samsmriti Samsthiti Muktirno Shadakodi Janma Suhrude Punnir Vina Labhyade Dullabham Trayame Vaitad Devanugraha Hedugam Manushyatvam Mumutshutvam Mahapurusha Samsrayaha Ko nama bandha kathamesha agadaha Katham pradishtasya katham vimukshaha Ko savanatma paramaka atma Tayor viveka kathamedadujyada Brahmanandarasana bhudi kalidai pudai sushidai sidai Yushmadvakalashodjidai sudisudai vakyamridai sechaya Sandaptam bhavatabadabadahana jvalabhirenam prabho Dhanyaste bhavadichana chanagade patri gruda swigruda So those slokas you are supposed to by heart. Now there are some questions. Can you explain what will happen to self, Atman, when someone leaves his physical body? You rightly framed the question. When someone leaves, who is that someone? Who is leaving the body? Is it the Atman or someone else? So technically, Atman never leaves the body. Body is in the Atman. It appears and disappears in the Atman. Like a wave appears in the ocean or a bubble appears in the ocean, the wave breaks down. The ocean doesn't live anywhere. So we have to understand the meaning of Atman. We have been explaining all this while what exactly the Atman means. Atman doesn't leave or come. Najayade briyadeva kadaya nayam bhuta bhavidavana. Then who is leaving? The reflection. The reflection of the Atman in the body. For example, when you pour a bucket of water, you change the water from or pour the water from one bucket to another bucket, let's say. Then the reflection of your face in the water also changes, goes into the other water. But you are not the reflection. So why are you bothered about that? Why are you asking meaningless questions, you see? The question has no meaning at all. Once we understand the nature of the Atman, the question doesn't arise. And that what will happen to me when I did? You are immortal. We have seen that. So stay with that idea. I am immortal. Don't ask unnecessary questions and try to find out an answer and then get caught up in those question and answer dialectics. There's no point, you see. And as far as Vedanta is concerned. If you don't understand that, then you identify with the reflection. When the mirror moves, the reflection also moves, isn't it? But you don't know. You don't know. So that question is invalid question. That question doesn't deserve any. If I answer that question, then I'll be buying into your idea of the self, which I refuse to do. So, when can you explain what will happen to self, Atman, when someone leaves the body? That someone is, that means you yourself are confused. What is this? That someone is the reflected consciousness. So when the body disintegrates, Sthula Shariram, Sushma Sharira carries the reflection, and then it moves to another body according to its karma. But you are not moving. Only the reflection which is moving. As I told you, when you move the mirror, the reflection also moves, but you are not moving. So here the whole purpose of this text is to take you from the reflected Jivatma to the Paramatma, which is your real nature. That is to be understood. When that is understood, this question doesn't arise at all. I don't die, nor do I be born, the new body. I don't die. I am immortal. Stay with that idea and see what happens, and then deal with that body. So someone leaves his physical body, please. What is the purpose of taking mantra disha from a Sadguru? It is written as Sadguru, S-A-D-G-U-R, Sadguru. Don't take a mantra disha from a Sadguru, S-A-D, Sad, Guru, Sadguru. So, what is the purpose of taking mantra disha from a Sadguru? What are the significance? So we have seen there are two stages of spiritual sadhana. One is you take a mantra from a guru. Mantra and Upasya Devata and the guru is there. So Gayatri mantra, Om Namah Shivaya mantra, or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra, Om Paramatmane Namaha. These kind of mantras you take. This mantra is to be so then this mantra is the Devata. This mantra signifies a Devata. Can be any Devata. Shankaracharya prescribes 6 Devata. Shanmata Stapaka, 6 Devata. That Surya, Ganapati, Subramanian, Vishnu, Devi, Shiva. These 6 Devata. Shanmata Stapaka. You can take any of those Devata. Or their derivative, their other avatara, you can take. So Vishnu, instead of Vishnu, Krishna, Rama. Shiva, Dakshinamurti, or Nataraja. All these. So Guru will prescribe according to your guna composition. If you are a Rajasic person, he may give the Subramanya because he is the Senani. If a Tamasic person, may be a Ganesha mantra or some other mantra. So the Guru decides what mantra is necessary for you. And then you keep on chanting them. And when you chant the mantra, you connect your relationship with the deity. So all your activities are offered to the deity. So you may install a murti also in your puja. So you install a murti, you chant a mantra, you connect yourself with that murti, because you still think you are a limited, bounded individual. So the Guru gives the mantra. So slowly your mind becomes quiet. Everything is surrendered to Shiva, everything is surrendered to Krishna. Every day you offer a flower, or wave a lamp, or ring a bell, or do a prostration to the deity. So there is a deity and the devotee relationship is established, which is seemed to be a abiding relationship. All your activities are surrendered. Before you go to the office, you go to the murti, sing the glory of the murti stuti, and do a namaskar. Offer a flower, a patram pushpam, balam thoyam, whatever you have. You offer to the, and then take a leave. Go to the office, work there, come back tired, again come to the deity. Again sing the glory. So you develop that abiding, lasting relationship. As a result, your mind becomes quiet. After you acquire that quiet mind, then again the Guru will come. Guru will come. The Guru will give you Mahavakya Upadesh. This God you are worshipping here is nothing but you. It is only a replica, a representation, a picture or a visual image of what you really are. So Mahavakya Upadesha, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, those Mahavakya. So these are 2 stages. The first stage is Mantra Upadesha. Second stage is Mahavakya Upadesha. Mahavakya is not for just repetition. Tattvamasi, you analyze, you reflect on that. You reflect on that. with the help of a teacher. So Mahavakya is to be reflected upon. Mantra is to be repeated. So both are important. First is Diksha. Give Diksha. Second is Upadesha. This is how. And thereafter you are on your own. Because you know I am immortal, I don't die, I am not born, I am not old, I don't become sick. Though this is your experience, you are experiencing because extreme attachment with the body. So the Acharya is letting you, making you swim against the current, let's say, upstream. So far you have been flowing downstream like a log of wood. The Guru is giving you some power so you can go upstream or walk back. So far you have been walking forward, now you are walking backward. Try that. When you go for a walk forward and then try to walk backward. That will give you a spiritual experience, you say. So there are two stages. That's why he said, Yogarudasya taseva shamakkara aruruchor muner yogam karma karanam uchade. Yogarudasya taseva shamakkaranam uchade. So first is the yoga arudatva. Yoga arudatva means a quiet mind. Second is shama. Shama is that quiet mind is to be employed for Shravana Manana Dididhyasana. So these are the two things. I'm sure this Subramanian's question, the handwriting I can make out, isn't it? This is your question, eh? Subramanian, this is your question? Whose question is it? Whose question? Your question. So, but your handwriting is like exactly Subramanian's handwriting. Okay. Now let us see the last sloka, the 175. Yeah. Manomayo nabi bhavet paratma. Isn't it? Manomayo nabi bhavet paratma. What is that? 183, okay. Okay, 183. Okay, let's see. Tanmanashodhanam karyam prayatnena mumutshuna vishuddhe sadichaidasmin mukti karabhalayade. So manashodhana means balance the mind, don't react. Take a breath. Create a gap between stimulus and response so that you can respond appropriately. A nuanced response is possible when the mind is quiet. And the quiet mind collapses into, let's say, into the truth, you say. So purify the mind. And then mukti karabhalayate. Then mukti is very easy for you with the quiet mind. Because with the quiet mind you get the darshana, you get a lot of experiences. When the mind is quiet, you get a lot of experiences. People say, I saw Garuda, hundreds of Garudas, hundreds of tortoises, hundreds of serpents, hundreds of white swans flying, or mountains on fire, or the sun and the moon coming near you, all kind of experiences like that. But don't get caught up in the experience, just move on, you see. Mokshega satya vishayeshu ragam nirmulya sanyasya cha sarva karma sachraddaya yat shravanadi nishtaha rajasvabhavam sadhunodi buddhe. These little difficult things. Mokshega satya, you are be passionate about moksha, freedom. Nothing else can distract you. Nothing. No other goals can distract you. You are very clear about your goal. I have to be a free individual. My happiness, freedom means what? My happiness does not depend upon outside agents. My happiness is not contingent upon anything. That's my name. That's a freedom. Then you are free. If you are unhappy and your happiness is dependent upon something else, you are unfree. This is not just political or economic freedom, which is never possible. We thought after independence we are free. No. A lot of shackles still. Lot of shackles. Those people who think they are free, they are not, also not free. Lot of shackles. Economic freedom, social freedom. You feel there is social freedom, there is still classes, exploitation. Isn't it? So the political, economic freedom is a chimera. The real freedom is, our sense of economic freedom is I need a lot of things to consume. Everything should be a click away. When I click my phone, things should come to my house. That you think is the freedom. And it involves a lot of problems. So real freedom is spiritual freedom, where your happiness does not depend upon anything, anybody, any place. Then you are a really free person. That is the true meaning of freedom. Not just economic, social or political freedom. So, mokshega saktya, this idea of freedom. Vishayeshu ragam nirmulya. And now you know, I don't have to be attached with these objects. I'll take only what is necessary. I decide what to take, not the object decide. When laddu is shining in front of you and you unconsciously stretch your hand and grab the laddu, look around, nobody is watching. Isn't it? And then you gulp it, uncontrolled. And your sugar is 500. 500 sugar. And you cannot just control it. And you think my wife is not watching. She is not suffering, you are suffering. Isn't it? So if I can escape my wife's eyes, then I am okay. That kind of attitude. That is not going to work. You have to decide. So my happiness should not depend upon anything outside me. That requires a deep understanding of yourself. Not just physical or mental or intellectual, deep understanding of it. So mokshega saktya, vishayeshu ragam nirmulya, root out that attachment to. Attachment is very entrenched, very difficult to root it out. Nirmulya, sanyasya cha sarvakarma, and all activities meant to gain happiness. Why I hammer on happiness? Please understand, happiness is not pleasure. Pleasure is when you indulge in a desire. Happiness is when you observe your desire and reduce the pressure of desire. Then your happiness improves. So, sanyasya, renouncing all activities motivated by the desire which springs from ignorance. Those kind of activities you must give up. They are not necessary for you. It is only just polluting the atmosphere, creating more garbage. That's all what happens. So, sanyasya cha sarva karma, sashraddhaya shravana, sashraddhaya yes, Shravanadi Nishtaha. Then you are Shravanam, you say. What is Shravanam? Guru says Tattvamasi. Then you say Aham Brahmasi. That kind of stuff. Rajas Svabhavam Sadhuno. Thus slowly you can remove the Rajas in the system, you see. And when Rajas is brought under control, then Sattva comes in the forefront, and then then Shravana become easier, things are all, then it is all very easy, you see. You have taken off. So far you have been running on the runway. You don't take off. You don't get that buoyancy. Now you got it, and then you are taking off. Continuing. Mano mayo nabi bhavet paratma. Yadyandavatvad parinami bhavad Dukkhatmagatvad vishayatvahedoh Drishta hi drishyatmadayana drishtaha. So that last line is a ironclad truth, that the seer can never become the seen or the scenery. When you see the pot is other than you. Pot can never see itself. You have to see the pot. So the seer is never the scenery. I have quoted that slogan. Rupam drishyam lojanam drik tadrishyam driktu manasam drishyaha drivrittaya sakshi drigeva nadu drishyade. So rupam drishyam, all these outside objects are seen. Tadrishyam, who is seeing that dies. Rupam drishyam. Tadrishyam driktu manasam. The eyes also are seen, the mind also is seen. And that drik, always drik, never drishyam is seen. There is an exchange possible between them. So drishtahi drishyatmadayana drishtaha is said. Manomayo nabi bhavat paratma. You are not the mind if you don't mind. Let me tell you a truism. You are not the mind. So, manomayo nabi bhavet paratma. Mind is only a tool for you to deal with the world. Adyandavatvad, it has got a beginning and end. In sleep, it's not experienced. When you wake up, it comes. So, beginning and end. And then parinami bhavat, mind goes through various modes of mind. Now we are angry, now we are loving, now we are caring, now we are ruthless, all kind of things. Then adyandavatvad parinami bhavat. Dukkhatmagatvad, mind is the seat of suffering. Ye samsparshaja bhogaha, samsparsha bhogaha, dukkha yoneya evate. Matra sparshastu dandeya, shidoshna sukha dukkha. Matra means the mind, sparsha means object. When they come together, the ultimate consequence, result is dukkha. Initially there is some pleasure. After the first 2-3 years of marriage, tremendous pleasure. Afterwards all shouting, screaming, questioning, doubting. You cannot do anything. She will not allow you to do anything. You will not allow to do anything, her also. Isn't it? That's it. Matrimony ends in acrimony, you say. Finally, shouting matches. Then you say, I am not going to say anything. Then you sit in the puja room. You are chanting mantra, but your mind is somewhere. Then you become sick. This acrimony becomes pathology, physical problems. Either you go mad or you become sick. There is no other option. So that's why we are allowed to go to Chotanikara. In front of the deity, you can loosen your hair and then you can shriek and shout and then scream and roll on the sand. And after some time you say, I let it out. And most of the time you will be scolding your husband in that way, or husband is scolding you. And at the end of the day, you let it out. Let the steam off. Now you feel little relief. Again come back, again the problems. That's why so many people go to Chotanikara. There is, you can let out the steam. And nobody will blame you. Because Devi is speaking through you. Devi is speaking through you. You are not speaking. If you are at home, you are speaking. In the temple, Devi is speaking through you. So this way you get some relief. So many, similarly Kodungal is very interesting. Kodungalur, once in a year you can use all expletive words, unparliamentary expletive words you can use. Nobody will blame you. Because Devi is speaking through you. The idea is that the suppressed unconscious is let out. Those 2 days, not every day. Those 2 days you can say whatever you feel so free as a result of that. So, or that Teyyam, all kind of makeup and then horns and then tail and all that. And then you are bringing out your suppressed, repressed, unconscious, undigested experience are brought into like a cud, the cow chews his cud, it's brought out. So it's a social kind of therapy, by doing this. That's what a psychologist do. They put you on a couch, then ask you to speak. They will wave their hand a little bit on your head, then you feel a little drowsy. So you feel, then say, speak. Nobody is there, you can speak. So you'll keep on saying. You'll keep on saying things, and this guy is reading something else. The psychologist is reading something else, thinking something else. And he is trying to connect his problem with your problem. Isn't it? You also undergo the same problem. So he listened to all that. Both of them become therapists each other. Patient is therapist for the doctor. Doctor is a therapist for the patient. Both of them heal each other. It's a healing pact. And then at the end of the day, both of them feel good. You let it out, you say. So this way, if you analyze life, Manomayaha dukkhatmagatvad, mind picks up. Vishayatva hedu, and then mind can be objectified. Vishaya means an object. Mind can be objectified. Drishta, mind is not the seer. Mind is not the agent. Drishta. Drishyatmadaya. Mind is always the seen. It's a tool that you use. So that Manomaya Kosha is over. You transcended that. See, these are various milestones as you go deep inside. These are the various milestones. And you got to clean up all these areas. Clean up all these areas, you say. Otherwise you get stuck. Continuing. Buddhi buddhindriyai sardham savritti karma kartrilakshanaha. Is karta or karma in your book? Karta, okay. Buddhir buddhindriyai sardham savritti kartrilakshanaha vijnanamaya kosha syad pumsas samsara karanam buddhir buddhindriyai sardham savritti kartrilakshanaha vijnanamaya kosha syad pumsas samsara karanam. Now we are coming to Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. Vijnanamaya is a composite of buddhi, intellect, where you can practice viveka. Intellect is the sight where you can practice viveka. Mind is full of emotion. Viveka is not possible. So you have to invoke buddhi. So buddhi indriyehi, buddhi plus the 5 organs of perception. What happened to the organs of action? Where did it go? It was clubbed with the 5 prana. 5 pranas, organs of action. Here 5 organs of perception. So buddhi indriya is sardham. Sardham means saha. Along with buddhi indriya means buddhi plus organs of perception, 5 of them. Savritti means nishchayatmika. So the mind wobbles and then deliberates and then finally buddhi decides. Okay, let us do it. Isn't it? So after deliberating quite a lot, scratching your head, lot of time, winking and blinking, and consulting with a lot of people, finally you decide either to do something or to postpone it or not to do it. Kartum shakyam, agartum shakyam, anyadhava kartum. These are the 3 things you can do. Should I register for the camp? You got the information. Then from that day your problems start. Because you don't know whether you should register, you need not register, And so 3 decisions you can take. Either I register, or I don't register, or next year I will register. Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha kartum shakyam. So these are the, so this decision is made by the buddhi, you say. Of course it consults your memory, it consults your emotions, it consults your need. All this, after consultation, somebody has to take the decision, isn't it? Somebody has to take it. Of this, the buddhi take the decision. So buddhi, savritti means nishchayatmya, determining factor. Kartrilashana, and buddhi take the ownership also. I took the decision, it's my decision. Buddhi is the owner of the decision. So buddhi includes the ahankara, chitta, and then the decision making. All these are buddhis. So buddhi says, this is the decision. Buddhi. Most of the time buddhi takes the decision under the influence of the mind, emotion. Sometimes buddhi asserts. If you have good counseling, good advice, and if you deliberate, you have enough experience, the buddhi takes over. Otherwise, buddhi works for the mind. So buddhi indriya sardam savrutti kartrilakshanaha vijnanamaya koshasya. This is called vijnanamaya kosha. Pumsaha samsara karanam. And this also causes samsara. Samsara means buddhi takes a decision, then you work on that, then buddhi is not comfortable with the outcomes, and then you want to move on. So that's samsara, meaning you are not happy with whatever you have. You are always looking for something new. Always. And then you become old before you reach there. This way, you are tumbling from one position to another position, one post to another post. Tasalli nahi hai. There is no peace of mind. You are keep on. You have become a rolling stone, you say. So vijnanamaya koshat pumsaha samsara karanam. Then this buddhi. Anuvrijan chit pradibimba shakti. Vijnana samnyaha pragrder vikaraha. Jnana kriyavan ahamityajasram. Dehendriya adishu abhimanya debhrisham. Anuvrajan chit pradibimba shakti. Vijnana samnya pragrder vikaraha. Jnana kriyavan ahamityajasram. Dehendriya adishu abhimanya debhrisham. This buddhi being enjoying a predominance of sattva, it takes decisions. So that buddhi is capable of chit pradibimba shakti, reflecting the chit. Chit pradibimba shakti. It has the power or the facility to reflect consciousness. So chida pradibimba, anuvrajan anupravesha. The consciousness enters into the buddhi through that sattvic aspect of the buddhi. So that's called pratibimba shakti. Anuvrajan chit pratibimba shakti, meaning invoking the reflection of the chitta. Vijnana samjnaha. It is called vijnana maya kosha or jnana maya kosha. So vijnana samjnaha pragrudayar vigara. The buddhi also is a modified prakriti. Buddhi also is modified prakriti, subtle prakriti. There the consciousness reflects, you say. So anuvrajan chit pradibimba shakti vijnana samjnaha pragrudayar vigaraha. Buddhi also is a matter. That's why sometimes we wonder, when you create enough complexity and interiority through a iteration and through many iterations, you can create interiority, subtlety. Then maybe conscious can reflect in a machine also. I won't be surprised. You can create interiority and subtlety and complexity and mutual loop system. Then you can, conscious may manifest. Because our brain is just a matter, subtle matter. 1.5 kilogram of grey matter. So much wiring and connection. If you can create that complexity, which we are doing. The machines are very complex, can do very complex functions now, which even we cannot do. So a time may come that consciousness manifests through, like this buddhi, manifests through a complex machinery. May be possible, I am not sure. So I just wondering. Anubrajanchit pradibimba shakti vijnana samsha pragudehe vikara. So ours is a wet neurons. This is wet. And the other is silicon dry. Dry silicon also creating that communication complexity. Maybe it can reflect consciousness. One day the machine can stand up and say, what do you think of me? Possible. What do you think of me? I am here. You are there. Either let us cooperate or let us fight it out. And you will definitely lose a battle with the machine. You cannot win a battle with the machine. It is so strong and it is full of knowledge. It can beat you down. That is what these people say. Don't unleash an energy which you cannot control. Which you cannot control. Which is very dangerous. So maybe humanity a failed experiment. The whole humanity may become a failed experiment of Brahman. And this machine, Brahman will support the machine, you say, because it's stronger, durable, can process enormous data, collect enormous data. Of course, it will consume enormous energy also. That also is there. So we are moving into a very dangerous zone of historical inflection point. Anything can happen with this AI. The AI summit is going on now, isn't it, in Delhi? So they are thinking what will be the consequence of the phenomenal development of artificial intelligence, language models and all that. So, Vijnana samchaha prakriti vigara. So the prakriti vigara gives us an insight. The buddhi is nothing but subtle matter, more complexity, more dimensionality. That's all. It's a prakriti only. It's all written. It will written in the silica or in the neurons. That's it. So much information is stored there. So much information. So much feedback loops also. So back and forth. Feedback. And therefore it gains dimensionality, subtlety. So, Vijnana Samjnaha Prakriti. So far, the scientists could not create a brain. No. They tried to map up the brain, but they could not create a brain, nor could they create a life. These two things, they are a failure. They could not create life nor a brain. But maybe in the future, it may be possible, you say. So, Vijnana Sapnya Prakriti Vigaraha Jnana Kriyavan. So, it is Vijnana Maya Kosha which creates knowledge. It's a knowledge making machine. It says this is a tree, this is a man, this is that, this is something else. A knowledge making machine. Vijnana Maya. We all create knowledge all the time. When you see a tree, you are creating a knowledge. Oh, this is a tree. This is an animal. This is the meaning of this particular word. So mind is constantly trying to create knowledge, both verbal and visual knowledge. So Jnana Kriyavan, Aham Vidyajasram, and also Vijnana Maya owns up. This is my knowledge. This is my knowledge. So that way, Kartra his ego or agent as well as his creation. This is all what you are doing. This is all what you are doing constantly, isn't it? You make knowledge and then you act on that knowledge. Some people like a very complex knowledge. Some people tell complex stories. So, jnana kriyavan ahamitya jasram. So, when you say, I see the tree, let's say, I see an elephant, I see my child. Who is that saying that? The Vijnanamaya Kosha is. Beyond the Vijnanamaya Kosha, you are sleeping, you don't say anything. Beyond the Vijnanamaya Kosha, it is sleep. Anandamaya Kosha. There you don't say anything, you don't claim anything, you don't even see the world. So, jnana kriyavan ahamadya jasram dehendriyadishu abhimanyade brisham. And then the abhiman, identification with the body, is all determined by the Vijnanamaya Kosha. It's all under the spell of the mind, which is seat of ignorance. That's how things are as it stands today. Jnana kriyavan ahamadya jasram. Ajasram means all the time the brain is active, creating knowledge, processing old information, chewing the cud. That's what it is. When you sit alone, what are you doing? You are thinking of the past or of the future. What will happen? Kya hoga, kya hoga, kya hoga? Kuch nahi hoga. Isn't it? This kind of thought. Or chewing the past. Why I did that? I should not have done that. I made myself a fool. That kind of thought. Or will I repeat it? What will happen? Always doomsday thought. Something bad will happen to me. This is how we spend our time. Or talking ill of others. That is another game going on. Nothing else to talk. You catch hold of someone and talk ill about that person. That's what you are. Either we are gossiping, or you are worrying about the future, or you are feeling guilty about the past. So, dehendriyadisha abhimanyade brisham. The Vijnanamaya Kosha make you identify with the body, indriya, sense organs, etc. So, you say, I am blind, identifying with the eyes. I am deaf, I am dumb, I am disabled, I am challenged. You lose one leg, I am challenged. So then, this way you define yourself according to the body or the mind or the intellect or how much knowledge. I am ignorant, I am knowledgeable, I am a pandita, I am a pamara. All these kind of ideas about yourself, all created by the Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is what we are doing, isn't it? Constantly, continuing. Anadikaloyamaham svabhavaha jivas samasta vyavahara vodha karodi karmani anupurva vasanaha punyana punyani chatat bhalani bhungte vijitra saviyonishu vrajan ayadiniryadhyata urdhameshaha asyaiva vijnanamayasya jagrad swapnadyavastha sugadukka bhogaha anadikaloyamaham svabhavaha jivas samasta vyavahara vodha karodi karmani anupurva vasanaha punyanya punyani chatat bhalani bhungte vijitra saviyonishu vrajan ayadiniryadhyata urdhameshaha asyaiva vijnanamayasya jagrad swapnadyavastha sugadukka bhogaha. So you asked me that lady asked me the question that who is leaving the body? Answer here. The Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is called Linga Sharira or the Sushma Sharira. When the Sula Sharira disintegrates, Linga Sharira carrying the reflection of consciousness, it leaves this body, he says. So, Anadi Kaloyam Aham Svabhavaha. This idea, your idea about you, determined by the body and the mind, emotions, and the knowledge, what you gathered from the world, that Sushma Sharira, Linga Sharira, Anadikaloyam Aham Svabhavaha. That is continuing for a long period of time. Body may disintegrate. Physical body disintegrate. But the subtle body continues. It will continue till you transcend that body. It will continue till keep on hanging on to you. The subtle body, like I told you, the water in a bucket. When you pour the water into another bucket, the reflection also goes. Your face reflection also goes. Similarly, the reflector consciousness and the mind and the intellect together goes to. And also the faculties. The faculties also goes to another life. So that's it. But Atman is not going. It's only the reflection which goes. So, Anadikaloyam Aham Svabhavaha. When did it start this journey of the Buddhi? Anadikalam, since time immemorial. This process is going on. Anadikaloyam Aham Svabhavaha. Jiva, Samasta Vyavahara Vodha. It's called Jiva. This conditioned consciousness is called Jiva. It's keeping on moving, he says. Samasta Vyavahara Vodha. So it is the doer of all actions and enjoyer of all the consequences of action. Bodha means Karta. Samasta Vyavahara Vodha is the doer of all action. Creator of all knowledge, all the stories is the one. Karodi Karmani, it's a Jiva, because knowledge is limited. Karodi Karmani Anupurva Vasanaha. So you do, your present actions are all influenced by the past actions. The past actions have left its mark in your psyche, and that influences their present action. Now you keep coming here, because first time you came with the trepidation, doubt, then you felt it's okay, then you keep coming, isn't it? Then you keep coming. And thus you pick up certain habits over a period of time. So, Karodi Karmani Anupurva Vasana, Purva Vasana Anu, following the earlier vasanas gathered from previous karmas. Those vasanas determine it. So, you create a vasana, certain tendency to do the same thing. These are all our experience. Whatever I continue to do, I enjoy doing it, isn't it? So, Karodi Karmani Anupurva Vasanaha, and the karmas are Punya Papa karmas, good and bad deeds. Because we don't have all the knowledge. Sometimes we do mistake. Sometimes we do wrong things. With the good intention also we can do wrong things. Actually, the road to hell is paved with the good intention, they say. With the good intention also we can do. So, good and bad karma, Punya Papa karma, Chatadbhalani cha, and its outcome also. A very complex system. So, Karodi Karmani Anupurva Vasanaha Punyani Apunyani cha Tadbhalani cha Bhunkte, and you endure or suffer or enjoy the outcome of your Punya Papa karmas. Punya karma means you will be happy. Papa karma means you will get dukkham. Punya karma sukham, Papa karma dukkham. So there is a definition what is Punya and Papa. Punya karma is an action which benefits more people. Papa karma is an action which will hurt other people. So when you do something, don't hurt to the other. That's a Punya karma. When you hurt the other, it's a Papa karma. Then you'll have to suffer. So, Bhunkte Vijitrashavi, and then as a result of that, to enjoy that fruits of your work, you need certain environment. So you do karma seated in this body, and the result will come later. And by the time this body's shelf life is over, then you have to get another body. And depending upon the nature of the karma, you need different bodies. Suppose if you want to play golf, that's the karma you want. You cannot sit in your puja room and play golf. You have to go to the golf club, golf field, change your attire, get those tools, and then you can swing the stick and then send the ball wherever you want, isn't it? So you have to change your attire, you have to change the place, you have to use different tools. So depending upon the karma that you want to do, or you want to give a lecture, then the whole thing is different. If you want to do surgery, the whole thing is different. So depending upon the punya or papa karma, and karma wouldn't give immediate result, it takes time. Then you have to get into different bodies. Papa karma, you have to go to hell. Punya karma, you go to heaven. A mixed karma, you stay here. Papa karma can take you to the life of a mosquito or a crocodile or a lion. Punya karma may be some gods. So you go up and down like that. So bhunkte vijitra swabi yonisu vrajan. Vijitra yoni, in various yonis, bodies, vrajan, you travel. Ayadi niryadi, come and go. So which you is this? This Vijnanamaya kosha or the Vijnanamaya Manomaya kosha, that particular aspect. Once you know I am not this, then you don't care, you see. Then you don't care. So it depends upon where you pitch your eye. Is in the body, the mind, or intellect, or something beyond. So, bhunkte vijitra swavi yonishu vrajan ayadi niryadi atha ucham urdhamesha. Esha, this jiva goes up and down. That is an answer to your question, isn't it? So, what happened to me? So, if you are caught up in the Vijnanamaya kosha, then this travel, coming and going and suffering and enjoying and enduring, all these things will happen. Aseva Vijnanamayasya. So these are all done by the Vijnanamaya. The knowledge maker in you, the ego in you, that's what is doing. Jagra Sapnadi Avastha. And then these avastha, these experience of waking and dream also belong to the Vijnanamaya kosha. Sukha dukkha bhoga, and also the sukha, pleasure, pain, all these are the fate of the Vijnanamaya kosha. So Vijnanamaya kosha goes through this melancholic journey of one body to another body. And as long as you are caught up there, then that becomes your fate also. So meditate, go beyond. Vijnanamaya is not my real nature. Continuing. So that sloka is it explains everything in that particular sloka. So the idea is that what all ideas are there? Punya, papa, vasana, and then karma bhala, then different yonis, different births, all belong to the Vijnanamaya. Then you understand, when you wake up, you understand this is all mithya, this is all maya. This is all virtual, not actual. Isn't it? You put that three-dimensional thing, my God, you can go to logas and all kind of things. A lion is jumping on you and you step back, or you hide behind the dusk. The virtual dusk thing, if you put on, the whole new world you create. But you are safe. There's nothing. There's nothing. So this Vijnanamaya kosha is that kind of a device. The Atman use, and then you are confused. Yes. This is only virtual, not actual. Enjoy it. Enjoy. That's what you're saying. So So all these words you can, anadikalam, aham sabhavaha, jivaha, vyavahara, this is called vyavahara, virtue, not action, not paramatma. Karodi karmani, anupurna. So when you use that, somebody says, oh, this is all unreal. No, you really see that. Sometimes a sharp object comes against you and you flinch. Then you realize that nothing is there. 3 dimensions. So mind is like that. And you suffer all that continuing. Dehadi nishtashraya dharma karma gunabhimana sadatam mamedi vijnana koshoyam adiprakasah pragushta sannidhyavashat paratmanah ado bhavatyesha ubhadirasya yadatmadhi samsaradi bhramena devadi nishtashrama dharma karma gunabhimana sadatam mamedi vijnana koshoyam adiprakasah pragushta sannidhyavashat paratmanah ado bhavatyesha ubhadirasya yadatmadi samsaradi bhramena. So when you go to this big mall, you go to those place, then they put that instrument on your head, and then you find you are climbing a huge height in terrific speed, and children cannot take it. They cry. You, because you paid, climbing such a height, steep height, then you are coming down in terrific speed. Then you are moving through water and fire and all kind of great creatures with sharp teeth and all that. They are looking at both sides. And then some planet is coming and hitting you. Haven't you seen that? And you paid for it. You have to enjoy it. So by your karma you paid for it. This is virtual. Similarly, what you are seeing now is virtual. The virtual reality. So dehadi, so this says yada atmadhi samsaradi brahmena ado bhavatyesha ubhadirasya. So this Vijnanamaya kosha along with the Manomaya, Pranamaya kosha, Atmana ubhadi, this particular 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional thing you are putting on your head. Atmana ubhadi. It's an ubhadi. Ubhadi means it's an instrument which you are wearing. Ubhadi. A conditioning. So, ubhadirasya ado bhavatya shesha means this Vijnanamaya kosha is an ubhadirasya atmanaha yada atmadhi samsaradi brahmena. And then you identify with this buddhi, Vijnanamaya kosha. Yada atmadhi, you take yourself to be this Vijnanamaya kosha and whatever it projects. Isn't it? So real to you. Samsaradi brahmena. And then you are going up and down. Actually you are not going. Steep height, then fall down. Then get into fire, then get into animals. Lions pounce on you and you are suffering. This is what is happening. So, adaha bhavadyesha ubhadirasya yada atmadhi, yada this buddhi, atmadhi, identifying with that, samsaradi brahmena. So, dehadi nishta ashrama dharma karma gunabhimana sadadam mamedi. So, deha, adi, house, children, dehadi. Nishta ashrama dharma karma gunabhimanam. Then you identify with the ashramam based upon the body. Ashrama means childhood, youth, old age, etc. asana. These various stages in your life you identify. Then dharmam. Dharma means their properties. Guna, objects. Karma, your activities. Activities on the body mind level. Abhimanam sadadam mamedi. You identify with it and you say, I am this and these are mine. The whole thing. Vijnana koshayam adiprakasha. This Vijnanamaya kosha, adiprakasha. Pradushta sannidhyavashat paratmanaha. The Vijnanamaya kosha is able to make knowledge, perceive things, create stories because his proximity to Supreme Self, he says. So, adiprakasha, prakrishta sannidhyavashat paratmanaha. Prakrishta sannidhya. It is very close to the Atman, he says. It is near the Atman. So it has more light in there. It is able to know, perceive, contact objects. So, prakrishta sannidhyavashat paratmanaha. Because it is very subtle. Body is a little far away. Prana is far away. Mana, but Vijnanamaya is very close. And then it can reflect. Vashat paratmanaha. Adaha bhavati esha ubhadirasya. So, the Vijnanamaya kosha is a mirror, is an ubhadi, reflecting the light of consciousness and then creating knowledge and the notion of ego is jivatma. Samsaradi brahmana. Thus you are moving up and down. So remove that. Remove that, disidentify with that, then you see things as they are. Things are. What is as they are? There is no going, there is no coming. You are pure Satchidananda Atma. That we realize. Let us read it once again. Dehadi nishtashama dharma karma gunabhimana sadadam mamedi. So abhimana, you identify with the body and their properties and all that. Vijnana koshoyam adiprakasha prakrishta sannidhyavashat paratmanaha ado bhavatyesha ubhadirasya yadatmadhi samsaradi brahmena yoyam vijnanamaya praneshu hridispuran swayam jodihi kudastha sannatma karta bhokta bhavatyubhadhistaha. Let us do some padachedam there. Yaha ayam vijnanamaya, this vijnanamaya, praneshu, association with the prana. Prana means sense organs, organs of action and the pranas. Vijnanamaya function in the association with these other bodies. Yoyam vijnanamaya praneshu hridispurad swayam jodihi, say. In that heart, the pure vijnana, pure buddhi, Atman reflects. Hridi spurat. So we call that hridi, hrd. The pure buddhi. There the Atman reflects. Hridi spurad swayam jodihi. Swayam jodi, Atman is called swayam jodi. It is its own light. Doesn't shine because of some other light. So self-effulgent. Swayam jodihi. Kudastaha. Kudastha. Kudastha means kudavatishta. Atma is like a kuda. Kuda in an anvil. In anvil you put a hot iron and beat it into shape. But anvil doesn't change. Iron changes. So similarly, Atman is the kudavattishtadi. It stays like a foundation for everything. So, swayam jodihi kudastha sanna atma karta. So this kudastha swayam jodi atma reflecting through the intellect and encompassing the body, prana, etc. Atma karta bhokta bhavadi. Atma assumes that I am the karta, I am the bhokta. Like that, when you put that five-dimensional, four-dimensional equipment, then you see you are going up and coming down, etc. So it due to the ubadhi. Sometimes they say, when you are traveling train, you get into the train, you sleep, you got into the train at about 10 o'clock, you sleep. Then you wake up in the morning. Then to your utter surprise, you reach Kannur or Kozhikode, let us say, from Trivandrum. To your utter surprise, you see the houses are running, trees are running, isn't it? Haven't you seen that? Maybe in Kannur this is how people are, everything is running. It's not the trees or the houses are running, it's a train is running. So identified with the running train, you attribute the movement of the train on the stationary homes and trees. That mistake we always make, depending upon our association, our identification. You see the sun is moving, rising and gliding across the sky, then setting. Sun is not moving, earth is moving around the sun. You identify the earth and see the sun is moving. You do, we do. Depending upon our association, we perceive things wrongly. You are coming to a Bhagavad Gita class and you have to pass by a bar. Bars are always ubiquitous in this state now. Then your good friend is coming down the bar, walking laterally, not moving forward, walking laterally because he is heavily drunk and is your good friend. So you try to give him a helping hand. And then you find your friend, you say, what's happening to you? Are you drunk? I'm not drunk. I was only helping this person. So similarly, sometimes because of association, the properties of that object is transferred to you, we say. Atman also is it. Identifying with. So how is that? I should say Atman is pretending. Atman is pretending. Atman put on this mask, Sattva, Tamas and Rajas, and then pretending, play acting. There is a Brahman project. You are a Brahman project. Brahman is pretending that it has become Jivatma, and then it is playing, you say, whichever way you want to take it. So, yoyam vijnanamayaha praneshu hridispuran swayam jyoti kudastasan atma karta bhokta bhavadi ubadhistaha. Because of the ubadhi, the conditioning factor, or depending upon the equipment that you wear, you use. If you are driving a car, you go fast, isn't it? You go fast, 100 miles per hour or 40 miles per hour. If you are driving a cycle, 10 miles per hour. If you are walking, 3 miles per hour. You cannot walk more than 3 miles per hour. If you are flying, 700 miles per hour. So depending upon the vehicle that you use, your speed is determined. Your comfort level also is determined. If you are in a car, you can lie down and they lie on the back of the car. Cycle, you cannot do that. Walking, of course, much more strain. So this way, depending upon the ubadhi, or you are playing on veena, in a string instrument, or you are using a flute, wind instrument, or drum, percussion instrument. Depending upon that, your expression will be different. So similarly, depending upon the tools that you use, Atman's expression changes. If tamas is predominant, Atman is dull. If sattva is predominant, reflective. Rajas is predominant, active. Nervously active. So it all depends upon the tool that you use. So the properties of the tool doesn't affect the Atman. Atman is only using it. So that's why bhavati ubadhistaha atma. Atman using this tool, that's, I would prefer that expression, rather than condition, using this tool, expresses differently. So these tools are ways of exploring and expressing that man's talent is. You can use a flute or a veena or a drum or just vocal cord. and sing. Use this tool. And the greatest tool that world has created in the world is human body. Human body. That's a Manishyatam, Mumukshyatam. A beautiful tool. Beautiful tool. We have not yet developed a better tool for Brahman to manifest, you say. So we have to keep this tool. Continuing. Swayam parichedamubetya buddhe tadatmya doshena param mrishatmanah sarvatmagasannabi vikshade swayam swadapradatvena mrudo ghadaniva swayam parichedamubetya buddhe tadatmya doshena param mrishatmanah sarvatmagasanna vivikshade swayam. When in his utter freedom takes upon himself this parichadatam, these tools. Atman is free, but it takes upon itself, but like a grandfather. He is the cabinet secretary, let's say. Cabinet secretary. 2 gunmen is following him all the time, protecting him. Wherever people see him, salute him. Because he is cabinet secretary, he is the first and the foremost official in the government. And he comes home. And when he comes home, the grandchild, 3-year-old grandchild, Papa, I want to play with you. Tata, I want to play with you. Then you have to remove the belt, remove the tie, your coat, your glasses, and then you have to stand on your 4 legs, isn't it? And the child will climb on you, pull your hair, dig your nose into your nose, and all kind of pranks will play. And you are giggling. You are squealing with the joy, isn't it? When the child does all, a little bit of pain also is there, but it's okay. Because you are standing on the 4 leg, you have knee pain and all that. But at that time you forget everything. Then suddenly the gunman comes. He says, what happened to this man? Why is he fooling himself like this? But tremendous joy in that. So similarly Paramatma, assuming this role, just to entertain himself or itself. Paramatma. That is what you are doing. So, Swayam Parichedamubhatya Buddhehe. The Paramatman identified with the Buddhi, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Tadatmya Doshena, and then extreme identification. So he has to play all those roles. Tadatmya Doshena, the defect of identification is. What are you identified? Mrishatmanaha, Param Mrishatmanaha, Kevalam Mrishatmanaha. This false tool that you are. You made the tool, then you are using, then you are conditioning us by the tool, just to express in a new way. So the musical instrument is a condition one way, or it's an opportunity in another way, if you know how to use it. If you know how to use it. I give you a cycle free. If you know how to pedal the cycle, climb on the cycle, balance and pedal, then you can reach your destination. Otherwise, it's a burden you have to carry on your shoulder. Depend upon how you use it, how smartly you use the body, mind, ego complex. So, Tadatmya Doshena Param Mrishatmanaha, Sarvatmagasannabi. The Atman is Sarvatma, is all pervasive consciousness, but reduces himself to the status of Jiva. As I told you, Amitabh Bachchan becoming a coolie. Miserable, walking on the road and putting this load on his head. And he is doing that. So, Sarvatmagasannabi, you are reducing himself to that, just to play. Vishade Swayam. It is taking itself to be Vishade Swayam. Sodaha Prathakttvena. And then it stands apart. Prathakttvena. It says it is different from everything. That's a play, game. Mridaha Ghadaniva. When you see a pot, you take the pot is different from the clay. Don't you do that? I don't see the clay, I see only the pot. I don't see the gold, I see only the ring. Not only that, I see only my wedding ring. A special, another value here. So at this point you see only your wedding ring. You don't see the gold. Similarly, you don't see the Paramatman, you only see the additions into that. So, Sodah Pradaktvena Mridaha Ghadaniva. So this relation with the clay and the pot is very important. Question, it will come now. What is the relation with the pot with the clay? Are there two things? Can you remove the pot from the clay? Can you? You cannot. How do you remove? Can you remove the ring from the gold? If possible, you take the ring, I will take the gold. Is that possible? Wherever there is ring, there is gold. The reverse logic may not be applicable. Wherever there is gold, there need not be ring. Wherever there is gold, there need not be ring. But wherever there is ring, there has to be gold. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagad avyaktamurtina mastani sarvabhudani najaham deshavastita. The gold says, I am not in the ring. Why? When the ring is melted, gold doesn't disappear. Then what is the ring? Gold appearing in a different mode, that's it. There is no difference at all. So he says, Svada Pradaktvena Mridaha Ghadaniva. So you are taking yourself separate from the Atman, he says. It's a very complicated. The Atman assumed this conditioning, then it is taking himself separate from itself. That self-alienation comes because your obsession with the tools. I hope this complicated logic is a very complicated logic. First you identify with the tool for just some joke, some fun. Then you identify with it. Then you take yourself to be separate. Meaning the Atman is separate from you. That kind of Bhranti comes, you say. It's possible. There is a story that the husband went to buy something in the market. Then along with the things he bought a mask also. The mask of a tiger. Mask of a tiger. So he wanted to play some games with his children. So he put on the mask and came to the house with all the bags of whatever he has bought. And he rang the bell. And his son, 4-year-old son, came and opened the door. And he started screaming, "Tiger, tiger, tiger." Tiger, tiger. And wife took a longest ladle to hit the tiger. And when she came here, he recognized my own husband, the father of my children. It is only a mask. Thereafter, he put the mask and the child also put the mask and they started dancing and playing the game of the tiger and the hunter. So, Swayam Parichedam Ubhetya Buddhehe Tadatmya Doshena Param Mrishatmana. This is all Mrisha. Mrisha means temporary. Mask that you are wearing. Sarvatmaka Sannavi Vishchade Swayam Sudaha Pradaktvena. So you created it and then you identify with that and you get uprooted from yourself. Meaning you fall into your own creation. The German philosophers, they talk about various alienation. Alienation. You alienated from the outcome of your work. Because when you do something, outcome taken away somebody else. Your employer takes the outcome. You get only subsistence wages. The employer takes the outcome. That's the alienate. You are alienated from the outcome of your sweat and toil. One alienation. Second alienation is the process of working. How to work. You have to stand in the assembly line. Your job is to just hit with a hammer or push something into a basket. Then it goes. Before you could think, it goes. It goes along the belt. So you have no control over the process of work. Then work becomes so boring that there is no self-satisfaction in the work. You are alienated from your natural self also. So you are alienated from the outcome of the work, the process of the work, and then alienated from yourself because you don't enjoy the work. Then you are alienated from others also, your friends, because there is intense competition to do the same job. There's 4 types of alienation the philosophers talk about. This is all because you forget who you are and then identify with the tools. Initially it was enjoyable, but later it became a habit and create a problem. This alienation, we feel lonely, alone. We feel eviscerated, we are hollowed out, and we feel empty inside. It's like the Koshakrita, like that silkworm. You feel thoroughly alienated. Swayam prathaktva mrudo ghadaniva. So if the pot thinks he is separate from the clay, that's a wrong notion. Pot can never be separate from the clay. Clay always support the pot. The rest we will see later. Now let us listen to that, with eyes closed, listen to that beautiful song. What else can you do? So you can watch, your mind reacts. If the mind doesn't react to all that, you are in peace, silence. Let all those sounds fall into your awareness like raindrops into the ocean. Now you watch this silence also. The noise is stopped, you are watching that. So whether there is noise or absence of noise, you are the Sakshi. You are the light. This light is never off. This light is always on. You cannot turn it off. The meditators select some centers for focusing, either Bhrumadhya or the heart or the navel. The Hridaya Pundarikam, or the Bhrumadhyam, or the Manipuraka Chakra. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ हरि ओम्।